Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. And today we're going to continue reading Peace is Every Step, The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life. And I just filmed my meditation video, which should probably be up before this one, so go check it out. It's only a couple minutes long, but I want to have a sip of water. Sometimes I can really focus and stay in the present just by drinking water, because I feel like, and this is so corny, but it's so refreshing, so cool. I love cold water. And I've said this before in my vlog that I love drinking water in a steel mug or a metal mug, because it reminds me kind of olden days, and not that I was there for the prairie days, because I wasn't. I know some of you might be surprised about that, but anyway. But everybody's always like, you drink Voss water, not sponsored. No. I buy the bottle and I fill it up 9,000 times with tap water because I'm cheap like that. So when you're broke, you don't spend every bit of your money on bottled water that's $4 a bottle. So anyway, I am going to get right into today's lesson, which is called Thinking Less. So if you're following along with me, it's on page 11. And if you guys are just joining us, this is the book that we're reading for the next, 60 days or whatever. And then we'll go on to the next one, which is called A Year to Live by Stephen Levine. But this is what we're doing right now. So, thinking less. While we practice conscious breathing, our thinking will slow down and we can give ourselves a real rest. Most of the time, we think too much, and mindful breathing helps us to be calm, relaxed, and peaceful. It helps us stop thinking so much and stop being possessed by sorrows of the past and worries about the future. It enables us to be in touch with life, which is wonderful in the present moment. Of course, thinking is important, but quite a lot of our thinking is useless. So true. It is as if, in our head, each of us has a cassette tape that is always running day and night. We think of this and we think of that, and it is difficult to stop. With a cassette, we can just press the stop button. But with our thinking, we do not have any button. We may think and worry so much that we cannot sleep. That's so true of me. If we go to the doctor for some sleeping pills or tranquilizers, these may make the situation worse because we do not really rest during that kind of sleep. And if we continue using these drugs, we may become addicted. We continue to live tensely and we may have nightmares. According to the method of conscious breathing, when we breathe in and out, we stop thinking because saying in and out is not thinking. In and out are only words to help us concentrate on our breathing. If we keep breathing in and out this way for a few minutes, we become quite refreshed. We recover ourselves and we can encounter the beautiful things around us in the present moment. The past is gone, the future is not here yet. If we do not go back to ourselves in the present moment, we cannot be in touch with life. When we are in touch with the refreshing, peaceful, and healing elements within ourselves and around us, we learn how to cherish and protect these things and make them grow. These elements of peace are available to us anytime. I love that. What I'm starting to understand by reading this book is that it is moment to moment, but it's like I was talking about those difficult situations in our life yesterday. It's really a pause button. All of this is really about a pause button in our life and stopping and going, for this moment, everything's okay. And taking a pause and being still, noticing the world around me, where I'm at with it. It's so funny because when I did that, I could hear the geese. And you really notice those things in the moment, right? Drinking a fresh glass of water, just sitting here breathing, the geese, all of it. And so it kind of takes it away from all of that. I love that. It's interesting when it talks in here about the cassette tape and the sleep, because I'm somebody that has to keep lists, and I now am just if I forget it, I forget it. It doesn't really matter. I just stop and I go to bed and I turn my phone off. I've had to learn to do that for my being able to sleep, because I've learned that there's something out there that said that if you are on your any cyber phone, television, anything for an hour before you fall asleep, you don't get good rest. And so I turn off everything for an hour, and then it usually, my husband falls asleep like that, but it takes me a good half an hour to 45 minutes to fall asleep. So I'm not on my phone or anything, I just turn it off. The tape in my head is interesting because It's so much like when I first got sober, you know, that like I would have to like, the initial thought would be like, I want to drink. And then that would go to, but if I drank, then this, then this, then this, then this. And this tape would run in my head for like an hour. Like it would literally take me like an hour to go through that tape. And today it goes that quick because I know what it's going to get me and what I'm going to lose. And in recovery, we talk a lot about that. I think in life, similarly, we have cassette tapes like that just wind and wind and wind. I script conversations out in my head. Have you ever done this? Where you're going to see somebody and you're like, oh, and they're gonna be, Aunt Judy's gonna be so pissed at me because I didn't bring the right casserole, and she's gonna say, why didn't you bring the right casserole? And then, I shouldn't have just got the rolls too. And then she's gonna be like, well, you didn't bring the rolls. And then, once she's gonna sit there, and then the whole time she's gonna roll her eyes. And I'm gonna feel like I shouldn't have even come if I didn't bring the right casserole. And then I'm gonna feel bad, and then everybody's gonna be mad at me, and then I won't have a good Thanksgiving, and so I should have just stayed home anyway. Instead, I was sick, right? And then you get there, and Aunt Judy never says one thing. And you're like, why did I go through the mental abuse, the physical, like the mental, I was gonna say physical, the mental personal abuse of abusing myself emotionally by putting myself through that? Like, why should I do that? And yet I do it to myself all the time. I still do it. It's a lesson that I'm slowly learning over time, to take away, but it's something that I still do to myself on a daily basis, We need to treat ourselves better than that. We need to not run that tape in our head, So I think in those moments, much like my husband and I, when we're getting into an argument that started with, like you didn't take the trash out, well, you didn't do this, and then all of a sudden we're not having the fight is having us. If you're a couple out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So Alex and I now are very, very good at saying, okay, we're gonna stop the argument right here. Like, we're not gonna let this go any further. And we kiss and hug and move on because it doesn't need to go any further, right? We stop the tape. Very similar to that in our own personal lives, when the tape starts running in our head, stop the tape. This is stupid. Aunt Judy won't care. If she does, I'll say, Aunt Judy, I'm sorry that I didn't bring this stuff. Please don't be upset with me. I'm glad that I'm here for Thanksgiving. We can stop that tape and run a different tape in our head, or stop the conversations and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think for me, it might be shutting my mouth, which is hard, and sitting still for a minute and just going, and being still in the moment, So I will see you guys back again tomorrow for, let's see what our next thing is that we're going to talk about in here. We're starting to get into the sitting ones. Tomorrow is nourishing awareness in each moment. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow for that. I love you. Bye.